when your first job, your first job as a teacher was us.
Yes. First job, first class.
When you came into BT secondary school and you were appointed a normal technical class, what were your thoughts? Like, do you have any like stereotypical like?
First thing first is really the classroom management. Is how do you deliver content and yet at the same time you have disruption going on, right?
So, okay, like what kind of disruption? So do they say like, oh, these kids are a bit slow?
It's actually not the content, right? It's not the knowledge. It's really about, you know, your state of mind coming to school, right? What other challenges do you have that actually supersede the need to gain knowledge?
So what he did was that he took the dustbin, he emptied the dustbin, and he asked everybody to put our phones in the dustbin.
Yeah.
What he did after that was that he took out the phones one by one and smashed it on the floor. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Just Saying Solo. Today I have a very special guest. If you don't know, it is my birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday!
Yes, it is my actual birthday today, and I thought of inviting someone who I spent a lot of time with during my teenage years. And he is none other than my form teacher from secondary school, and his name is Mr. Tam.
Hi everyone, glad to be here. Glad to be here with Fadil.
Yes, thank you. But now my name is Dew.
Dew, yes.
No, but I recently, so I dabbled into comedy recently.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I said my real name.
Yeah,
so then now everybody knows my real name lah.
Okay.
But I still go by the
so
name
I haven't
of Dew.
revealed any secret lah.
Yeah. So Mr. Tan taught me from 13 to 16. But let's go back a bit, right? For some context, we were the only technical class in BT. And I think at that point of time, they said they wanted us to be the last technical class forever, right?
Yeah, they were trying to have only one class, from what I know, yes.
Yeah. And then Mr. Tam was unlucky lah. And he came in to teach us. But okay, what age were you at that time?
Let me think. I was fresh out of NIE. So I did my practicum in PT first, which is the trainee apprenticeship lah. So that's when you guys were in 1T1. Okay. Right, with Miss Lim, right? I was 25, I think, 25.
Oh, so you in a way just graduated?
Just graduated, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And why did you want to become a teacher?
I think the story went back to during my days in the university. I was very active in youth work, right? And there was this opportunity where I brought a group of students from Catholic JC to Chiang Mai to do, I think this particular province called Lampang, to build like a study corner for the students. You know? And during that period of time, 18 days with the CJC students, there were 3 teachers who went along, right, to the trip. And during the R&R, one of the teachers said that if ever I wanted to join the teaching service, she would write a recommendation for me. I think Miss Eng. Miss Eng. I heard she recently passed away. And she mentioned that, oh, you know, if you want to teach, I will write you a recommendation, but I think you will make a very good teacher. Okay. So of course, one of the things that you will think of when you are about to graduate from a university is, where am I going to find my next job to pay off all the loans, right? So I just tried my line and said, so I went back to Miss Eng when I graduated and said, hey, you know, will you still be willing to write the letter for me? So long story short, I went for an interview in MOE, not knowing what to expect. Of course, the only interface I had with students were during the 18 days with them. I was almost like a teacher to them. You know, looking after them because I was a expedition leader together with another small group of NUS students. So wait.
So what qualifications do you need to become a teacher?
In Singapore, you have essentially if you want to teach, if you teach primary school, you need at least a diploma. Okay. If you teach secondary school, you need at least a degree. Okay. Right. But of course, degree holders can also be teaching primary school as well. So that's how so that is that minimal educational qualification.
When your first job, your first job as a teacher was us.
Yes. First job, first class.
First job, first class. Yeah. So you had no experience of teaching in a sense. So when you came into BT secondary school and you were appointed a normal technical class, what were your thoughts? Like, do you have any like stereotypical like thoughts?
There's a story behind this. Okay, so the concept of normal tech is new back then, right? during my time when I was a student, there wasn't such a thing called normal tech.
Oh, really? Yeah.
There wasn't. So as a student myself in secondary school, right, there wasn't normal technical stream. It's only Express and NA. Normal acad.
Then what happens to the people who do like below 100 points for PSLE?
Oh, they will continue to primary 7, primary 8.
Also, they stay back lah.
They stay back. So the government changed that, right? They wanted to push everyone to secondary school. So they created normal technical stream, right? And they don't know much about normal tech, really. The only thing I know about normal tech was, of course, with people who have gone through school to teach. So my girlfriend then, who is my wife now, right? She's a year ahead of me, right? And she actually got an untrained teaching contract. And she went to another school, okay, another interesting school, which I won't name. She went to that school, right? And she was untrained. So untrained teachers, typically, they give you the, sad to say, classes that other teachers may not want to teach.
Oh,
so she got a normal tech class.
Okay.
And she did share with me how challenging it was. So generally speaking, you know, when this whole normal tech stream, right, you know, there's certain kind of
bad
stereotype or kind of like a bad rap, I would say, right? A bad rap.
So you had no, basically, when you learned how to be a teacher, you had no information of how normal technical students were behaving or what of the kind of human beings we were like.
I think except for people who have gone to the school to teach, right? Those untrained teachers. And then you hear from them when they become your classmate, NIE. You know, of course, my girlfriend now, my wife, right? Share a bit of stories as well, how challenging it could be.
Like what? Share.
Yeah, I think first thing first is really the classroom management. Is how do you deliver content and yet at the same time you have disruption going on, right?
So, okay, like what kind of disruption? So do they say like, oh, these kids are a bit slow or these kids are slower than usual?
No, the slow part is actually not what we are concerned about.
Then?
It's really the disruption, like, you know, fights happening in classroom, you know, people not attending for class, people, you know, truancy, right? But when it comes to the disruption and so on, you know, how do you really teach discipline?
Yeah.
Right? It's not something that you can teach, right? Like you teach someone how to do mathematics. And of course, you ask anyone who have taught normal technical stream, right? And I've taught your class, you know, for so long, right? For 4 years. It's actually not the content, right? It's not the knowledge. It's really about, you know, your state of mind coming to school, right? What other challenges do you have that actually supersede the need to gain knowledge in the school, right? It's not so much a knowledge part. It's very much on the behavioral part. And that one is very challenging.
Yeah, because everybody receives the same knowledge. Because as teachers, you all have modules to teach and everything. So everybody receives the same education. It's just the different students, how we absorb it is the...
And what prevent you from absorbing, right?
Okay.
So you talk about slow and so on. Of course, yes, cognitively, there are students who are slow. But if I look at your class right now, right? Okay, among your class, your ex-classmate, right? Okay, you yourself, you are doing well, right? You're doing this. You know, I would never imagine, you know, if I just look at you, all of you, you know, just if I freeze that image of all of you, right?
Yeah.
You know, when I met all of you in the science lab for the first time, when Miss Lim was teaching your science, I remember, I think one of your classmates was trying to burn down the lab. I think it was Jeffrey. I think he was trying to test the thickness of the curtain, the lab curtain, and was using Bunsen burner to burn it.
Yes.
Right? If I freeze that imagery, right, then I wouldn't imagine the kind of work that all of you are actually doing right now.
Yeah.
So you see, knowledge and all this will come, right, as you progress, right? You can learn on the job, you learn from people and so on. But what I think that I was very worried about, right, is what actually will prevent you all from going to the stage where you can now learn independently. And that will be all the kind of trouble that you all get yourself into.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because some of these things, especially in a very unforgiving, in some ways, a very unforgiving society that we have in Singapore, right, whether it's right or wrong, one wrong step, right, you may not be able to turn around. Yeah, that was my biggest concern back then.
Yeah. Now that I'm older and more mature, I also feel like education, everybody receives the same education, is basically setting the foundations of how they learn.
Yeah.
And if they have no distractions. Hey guys, sorry to stop you right there, but I bet you guys have all heard things like don't cut your nails at night or don't open an umbrella indoors. Have you guys ever been scared by those and actually believe so? I guess there are fewer people nowadays thinking that they are true, because we don't have to rely solely on superstitions now. We have access to concrete information and facts, and it's not only useful for everyday life, but also especially useful when you are trading. That's where Okta comes in. So Okta is a globally regulated broker, and recently they've made a huge leap in the trading industry with Okta Space. It's a game changer that allows you to quickly analyze market news and insights right within the app, which helps you make the right moves when trading with Okta Trader. On top of that, Okta charges no fees. It's super convenient and reliable, allowing you to learn and trade seamlessly all within one app. Now, I know starting something new can be daunting, especially when you think that trading is hard without anyone's advice. But it's much easier when you have a supportive community by your side, and that's exactly what Okta Space provides. It connects you with like-minded people, and you can engage with discussions, stay updated on the latest trends, all within the app. If you are thinking about trading and don't know where to start, go download the Okta Trading app via the link in the description box below, or by scanning this QR code and try the Okta Space function. And with my promo code, you will have the opportunity to double your deposit for trading. Now, back to the episode.
Yeah.
So, which ties back to, I remember quite clearly on your first day talking to us. And you went in as a very, very stern guy. Like, we had no introductions of like, okay, guys, Mr. Tam's gonna come in or whatever. Like, basically, he came in and you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Purple shirt.
Yeah.
You were
the
wearing
bunny shirt, I guess.
Yeah, you're wearing a purple shirt. And you said, shirt. Immediately, I'm not even kidding, guys. He said, I am gonna take care of you guys all the way until you guys graduate. Right? He was so stern about it. He was like, I will make sure I see all of you guys graduate. And then we were like, I personally was like, what the hell is this guy saying lah, right?
Probably wasn't the only one.
Yeah, no, to be fair, everybody was like, shut the fuck up lah. This guy like, like, how can you suddenly come into our class and just you say these kind of things?
Yeah.
Why did you like come in with this attitude? Like, why did you come in as this very stern guy?
Yeah. I would say a mixture of a few things. Number one, not knowing what to do. Right? So when you don't know what to do, right, and you feel responsible for a group of people, what will you turn to? You will turn to how you were managed, right, or how you were taught by someone else, right? And immediately I was thinking about my dad. Because the way that I look after you all, right, or the way that my dad look after me and my siblings, again, you know, this whole notion of this very protective, you know, or sense of wanting to protect, but at the same time, you know, being stern and being assertive about it. Yeah. But my dad was a disciplinarian.
Yeah. When I also, you wanted to set the bar straight from the start.
From the start.
Yeah. It's like, this is who I am and this is how you are going to learn.
Correct. And also, of course, I think also copying a bit of my background in the military because of NS, right? You know, and I was, during NS, I was a platoon sergeant, right? So there was a bit of that influence as well.
Actually, that's true. Now that you say it, it's very much like NS because the how you taught us and everything. So, you were a very naughty class. Like, I feel like you had a hard time because like, and our class, so for some context, our class, I feel now if I remember, I try to trace back a bit, right? The class is split between like, how do I say this? We are all very different people, but at the same time, we are all...
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But at the same time, we are all very notorious.
Yeah.
And there's only like a small group of people who will actually listen. And I feel like you had to basically teach the different groups in different ways. Like I remember there was I forgot the names, but there was the group of Indian girls.
Yeah.
What were the names?
Priya.
Yeah.
Shalini. Yeah.
And then
Diva.
Diva.
Yeah.
And Diva had a nickname called Venom. Yeah. And that was one group, and they were like girls who are also very notorious in their own ways.
Yeah, right? The group of Chinese girls.
Yeah. And then there's my group who is me, Salihin, Ray Hong,
Yeah.
And we were all very notorious in our ways lah.
Yeah.
And we were so notorious that we were causing crime. Right? So we started underage smoking.
Yep.
We started jowing school. We started climbing the gates.
The back gate lah.
The back
the
gate.
HDB block.
Yeah. So we started doing that. And then I remember there was one time you told me that you started going outside of school to speak to some people to take care of us outside of school.
Yeah.
And those people were the police.
Yeah. The police, the shopkeeper.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people that we talked to. And I would say that was something that, I don't know whether you still remember Mr. So. The very tall guy, the Peter Crouch, you all call him.
Yeah.
Back in those days, the tall teacher, right? At that time, he was my direct manager. Or we call him direct report lah. Sorry, I was his direct report. We went out to engage with the community. So we spoke with, I don't know whether you remember, there was this provision store. Right, you go straight out from the school gate, right? There's this provision shop just beside the sink post.
Yes.
The sink post shop, right?
Yeah.
We speak with that person to find out whether you guys were buying cigarettes. We crossed the bridge to Lorong 8. So Lorong 8, there's a very famous uncle, right? I'm sure you know the uncle. Maybe you don't know, but I'm sure you know.
Yeah, under the block.
Yeah, under the block. There's this uncle that sells cigarettes to you all by the sticks.
Yeah.
Not even by the pack, by the sticks. We know all these. We also engage with the police. But the way we engage with the police is not to tell them to arrest you and so on, but to give us an indication, right? If the police think that there's going to be a fight. Because remember, right? There was Wheatley Secondary came in.
Yeah.
And we knew there was a lot of issue with Wheatley boys. The girls and the boys with our school. And then, of course, there was always this struggle at first Toa Payoh. Yeah, so some of these things that were going on in the whole Toa Payoh estate, right? We worked very closely with the police. It was all because of Mr. So. He put all this in place for us to work beyond the school.
Okay.
Right? His purpose of doing that is to anticipate any problem, right? Before the problem happens.
So when you go to the police, what you say? Like, hey, like...
okay, so every school, right, will have a police liaison.
Oh.
From the police post.
So this is a standard thing?
Standard thing.
Okay.
But how much is the interaction, right? Depends on the school.
Okay.
All right. But the police will visit the school at a certain frequency. But nothing is stopping you from going to the police station and look for them. So on a couple of occasions, we actually went to the police post, right? You know, the one at now it's long. I think it's longer there already. It was a police station or police post that we will visit the inspector.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will have conversation with them to share with them what we feel could be a problem, right? Because there were also certain instances where we ourselves see our students, hanging around with certain characters in the Toa Payoh estate. Yeah.
So when you speak to the shopkeeper and everything, you tell them not to sell us cigarettes, or you tell them?
Of course, we tell them not to sell you.
But they still sell us, what?
We know, but it's also in a way to tell them that we know that they are selling.
Oh, so then in a way they are breaking the law.
Yeah. So we tell them that, in a way we are watching.
Yeah. And you are breaking the law, and we might tell on you.
In some ways. It's like a deterrent. It's like we are watching, we know that you are selling. Like for example, the guy at the Lorong 8, right? How we know that he was selling? Because we caught the students with, this whole story that I don't know whether I shared with you before, right? Sometimes when we do bag check, right? We pour the bag, and you have cigarette stick falling out without the pack. Then, of course, we will ask the student, hey, where is this stick from? And they say, oh, the uncle from the Lorong 8 shop sold it to me. For like $2 per stick.
Bastards, the guy. Why go and pauto?
I mean, because I know some students, they feel very proud that they have this supply of whatever, right?
Yeah.
But we know it's not our duty to, I don't know, I don't think it's our duty to call the police and so on, right? But of course, we will give the police the information, they will go and handle it on their own. But we have visited a few shopkeepers. We also have shopkeepers, we also leave the numbers with them. So Mr. So will leave his office number. Direct line, right, to his HOD room, to the shopkeeper, and they have called him on occasions. Yeah, there was one occasion we actually stopped a fight. We stopped a fight between some of the fine boys with the Wheatley side because one of the shopkeepers saw some problem happening, right? Call us straight away. So myself, Mr. Singh, Mr. Fu, we went on. I remember going into the police truck, right, with the policeman in front and Mr. Singh on the right. on the left, and then we were driving around Toa Payoh looking for the fire boys.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So I like because you brought up Mr. Singh.
Yeah.
Mr. Singh, to those who are from BT Secondary School, you all will know what I'm going to talk about. Mr. Singh is, so he was a discipline master.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was a very interesting character.
He is.
And nobody likes this guy at all. Like, I cannot think of someone who says, I love Mr. Singh.
Until they leave the school.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And because Mr. Singh, apparently, right, he was the first batch of CIDs.
Yeah, and also CSI.
Yeah. So he was one of the first batch in Singapore. And when you go to his office, you will see a police vest.
Yes. Like, hanging out very proudly.
Yeah, or like a CID vest.
Yeah.
And this guy is very smart. So he was quite old at that point in time.
Yeah.
Right? And how he catches us doing things, right? So for example, we will skip detention or we will play soccer where it's not like at the back of the school.
Yeah.
So, and then one person will watch out for Mr. Singh.
Mm-hmm.
And if we see Mr. Singh coming, we will take the ball and then we will run. Right? He knew we were going to do that. You know what he do? He called this guy called Daniel. I'm not too sure I forgot how much older he is. So Daniel runs for BT Secondary. He was in the track.
Okay.
He was in the track track team.
I think I know. Yeah.
So he engaged all the track team people to chase us.
Oh, he did that, huh?
Yeah. So when we were running to the back gate, right, and then we suddenly see Daniel chasing after us, and this guy was fast, right? So Daniel would chase us first before. So imagine we were running to the back gate, right? And then Mr. Singh will put Daniel somewhere and say, okay, when you see them running, you chase after them. So Daniel will run after us. Yeah, but what he didn't know is that Daniel plays in the same soccer team as us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Daniel will catch us and say, hey, Mr. Singh coming. So if he asks, how come I never catch you? I'll say, oh, you all just ran out of the school already and then I didn't want to go out of the school. But to me, okay, that was steady, right?
Yeah.
But to me, that was very smart. Like, you engaged different people. Another story is, he knew the staircase that we were always smoking at, the block.
The D&T that side, is it?
D&T there or even outside the school.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, there was one block outside the school where we would always go to the staircase and smoke because there was no vision.
Okay.
Like, no one else downstairs can see or whatever. Like, it's near the Shell station.
Okay.
So, what he did was he went to the neighbor's house. He went to the person staying there. He knocked the door and then he told the neighbor. I think he gave the number to the neighbor and said, call me if you smell the cigarette smell.
Yeah.
And it so happened when we went up there to smoke and then the neighbor come up and I said, I called Mr. Singh. And then we were like, oh my God, how do you know Mr. Singh? He said, I have Mr. Singh number. So we all figured out that, oh my God, Mr. Singh, solid guy. And he will write, Mr. Singh rides a Vespa, a very famous green Vespa.
Yeah.
And he will come out with the Vespa and chase us. Or he will surround the whole Braddell area or Toa Payoh area to find any students doing naughty things. Yeah, and we will always try to puncture his tire.
Oh, that one I heard, but I never seen it.
And talking about discipline, I remember, a story about you, which is a quite famous story amongst the classmates. That one day you came into a class and then you asked us who brought our phones.
Oh, yeah.
Remember this story?
That's the classic.
And then he bought a bucket.
Yeah, it was a dustbin.
Yeah, it was a dustbin.
I think I emptied the rubbish and then I just pass it around.
So Mr. Tam was so angry at us, he went into the class and he was like, who brought phones? Or who was texting? Who got caught texting actually?
I think a couple of the girls.
Right?
So the context was it was PE, man. It was during the PE lesson, right? Actually, unbeknownst to all of you, right? That period of time, right, I was fighting for more resources for the class.
Okay.
So one way to do that, right, is I wanted to show the management, right, the principal, Mr. Bu and so on, right, that I'm able to manage the class properly, right? And I can get all of you to listen to the teachers, okay? And with that, give more resources for me for what I want to do with you all, right?
Okay.
So it was very close to that, I was very close to getting resources until, right, one of the HOD came to me and said, you failed. Your class has not been, well disciplined.
Okay.
And the incident happened was because, so the PE teacher, Mr. Chan, right, Chan Ming Fai, right, And I think he excused some of the girls from PE. And then the girls took out their phones and they were playing with the phones. And this other HOD saw them.
Okay.
And because this HOD knew that I was trying to prove a point, right? She came to me and warned me that, your girls were caught, right? Until I knew that she was actually the one catching the girls. So I don't know what game she was playing. So I got very frustrated, and that's why I blew up. So I went to the class like you said, did what I do.
So what he did was that he took the dustbin, he emptied the dustbin, and he asked everybody to put our phones in the dustbin.
Yeah.
What he did after that was that he took out the phones one by one and smashed it on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this so clearly. Again, you were wearing the purple shirt, I think. He's like, put your phones inside. He took out, he smashed, and he screamed at us.
I think I smashed about 4 or 5 phones. I can't remember.
Yeah. And thank God for you that it wasn't iPhones. At the time, there was no iPhones.
Those were the Nokia phones.
Yeah. So what happened after? Did you buy?
Yeah. I bought a few sets back.
How much did you spend?
Well, I can't remember. But it was something that I was prepared to do. I wanted to prove a point. So after the smashing, right, I think I smashed a few, 3 or 4. I did tell one of the girls, I think it was either Xue Huan or Xuan Hui, to pick up the pieces, right, and keep especially the SIM card.
Oh.
But I knew that you can lose the phone, I can get a new one, no problem. I was prepared to do it, but cannot lose a SIM card. Very troublesome to get a replacement back then.
And you had some complaints from parents also, right?
Okay,
for this incident.
So I think a couple of girls, they were crying very badly. Okay, after the class. I can't remember what lesson it was. I think it was recess or it was after school. Then Mrs. Madam Tan, the Chinese teacher, right, who was at that time, I think she was a co-form teacher. She saw some of the girls crying, so she was very worried. And she was talking to girls, and then Mrs. Tan walked past. Clara Tan, the vice principal, walked past, right? Then brought the girls into her room. And then, of course, they told her the story, which is nothing wrong with that. Definitely, they should have told her. And I was called up by Mrs. Tan to her office. Yeah. That actually got her to be convinced, right? When all of you went to Sec 3, I was no longer a form teacher. Because the whole of Sec 3, actually, it was Tammy Koh. Miss Tammy Koh was our form teacher.
Yeah.
I was taken off your class, right, because of the incident.
Oh shit, do you regret it?
Maybe it was... I really don't know what was the impact of that incident. Right? I don't know whether it kind of was a good wake-up call for everyone. But I thought I needed to do it at the time. Probably not smashing the phone on the floor. I can't think of it now. If you ask me, I won't do it again to smash the phone. But I needed to deliver a message for that. There was no excuse to smash the phone. How much trouble did I get into? I believe it was actually one that in a way convinced me that my career is not in ministry. Not because of you guys, because of the kind of support and kind of politics that some of the teachers were playing in the school.
But why the politics? Like what they want?
It's a very interesting topic. If you look at the psychology of workplace politics, right? Now I'm a HR person, right? I can tell you is that I believe, right, a lot of times, and I read into this also, a lot of times there's a lot of politics going on because there's unfulfilled needs and expectations. People are not getting the kind of needs fulfilled, and therefore they will, do something to get it. I'll give you an example, right? If you are not getting the kind of respect that they think they should be getting, then they get it out in another way. That they feel justified, the ends justify the means. Right?
So, am I right to say that the way you taught us, and I mean the way you taught us was very different, and it was a way that they never seen before, right? And it was working.
I don't know whether they thought it was working. I just feel that, okay, for me, right, how I know it was working is that I don't get all of you ended up in... at the end of the day, there will still be some, right? But I was trying to keep you out of trouble. For me, as long as you all can graduate and get out of this, this rut that you are in, right? And go to IT and pick up a solid, vocational skill. I thought that was my job. Right? I was in no disillusion that, I want all of you to be straight A's or all get awards and so on.
You just wanted us to graduate.
Just you all to stay safe and just graduate.
Yeah.
Right?
And which was your, I mean, when the first time you came into class, that was the first thing you said, lah. Like, I'm gonna make sure you guys graduate. Which confuses me. That's why I asked you, like, what were the stereotypes you were thinking about? Like, because you were really like focusing on the point that I will make sure that you guys graduate.
Yeah.
And both of my brothers are also normal technical students. And they graduated lah. So then that's why in my head, I'm like, why wouldn't we graduate?
Yeah.
You know? And so back to the teacher thing. So I think you were making in a way, a name for yourself, and I think they were jealous lah, right? Or like,
I don't know whether they were jealous or they were like, there's another thing about workplace culture, right? Is once you are seen to be different, all right, it's not about them being jealous of you or them I mean, it could be lah, right? It could be, but it's also this whole notion of what gives you the right to be different, right? So if you go into a workplace culture, right, you see, when you look at a new employee walking into a workplace, right, you expect a new employee to fit into the culture of the place, right? And you have to earn your right, right? You have to earn your right to be different, but you have to be the same as us first coming into the workplace. So there's this whole culture assimilation, as they call it, right? If you watch shows, there's this show called the Star Trek, right? It's like the Borg. They want to assimilate you, so you become like them, right? I wasn't like that. I wasn't like that, and I felt that if you do the same thing to the other students, right, in other stream, to the normal tech stream, I didn't feel it will work lah. I don't feel it will work. Yeah,
and I also think that it didn't help you that you were a NIE, like in a way trainee, and so they were like, oh, who is this guy? You never even earned your marks yet, and then you're
probably right lah. Yeah. I have not done the 1 year contract teaching, right? I came out from NIE. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you could say that. And of course, plus all the other politics and culture that was going on in the school, the teachers and so on. You'll be surprised what goes on in the common room, the staff room.
Yeah, so we will touch on that one later, right? But yes, that's all the time that we have.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. If you guys didn't know, Mr. Tam actually won 2 awards, right?
Oh, yes. I asked me to bring. I forgot to bring.
Yeah, but okay. Mr. Tam won 2 awards from MOE. What are the awards?
It was more school level award lah. So it's more on it was one, I don't know what it was, called caring teachers award lah.
Okay.
And another one is, I can't remember which was, but it is for the time that I spent with the students lah. Yeah. So award from the school, to award to teachers who have shown care and concern for students.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never heard any other teacher that won this award, but my form teacher won this award. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you everyone.
And sharing our life together during school. If you guys have anything you'd like me to talk about, or if you guys have any guests you would like me to invite, let me know in the comment section below. If not, I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks.